Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you can probably tell by the thumbnail, today I bought another project car. It's the world's cheapest drivable Chevelle, and this engine is going to be going in it. But who cares about the little small block? Let's look at the Chevelle. And here it is, the world's cheapest drivable 1968 Chevelle. I had seen this thing on Marketplace, and I had saved it, and I had been watching it slowly come down in price until it got to a point where I said, yeah, I could probably make that work. And it was so cheap because it's a four-door. This is a Chevelle 300 Deluxe sedan. And you can tell it's deluxe because, see that chrome trim at the bottom? That means deluxe. I don't know what else does, but by all accounts, you put chrome under the doors and it's deluxe. Now, other than that, it is just the basic Chevelle body style with a couple of extra doors. Because, well, like you probably, I can't afford a two-door Chevelle. Not in any state that I'd want to own anyways. So, it was wagons or four doors for me. And, well, I do like the station wagon. This is the Chevelle body with just a couple extra doors. And a couple extra dents also. Yeah, it's a little bit why it's so cheap, but that's actually not that bad. I mean, it didn't damage the headlight trim enough that I don't think that could be fixed. It's just pushed out of place. They make replacement fenders, but I also can take this fender off and see if I can do any sort of body work to it. Which, I won't be able to, and I'll end up buying another fender, but that's okay. It is my favorite Chevelle front end with the four headlights and that grille. 68, 69 were the only 2 years for this. There's a few changes in 69, which are mostly in the grille. Now, other than four-door, you notice this marker light, you're going to immediately know something else about this car. And if you don't know anything about what that marker light is, I'll tell you. If I can get the hood open, there we go. Whew, nope, not quite. There it is. This thing sat for a while. All right, here we go. What this is the GM 235 or 250, I'm not sure which one, 6-cylinder. I don't know why it's pink. I really don't. Ooh, HEI conversion. That's nice. We can keep that. I mean, can't use it in anything but a 6-cylinder, but HEI. Now, getting back to that marker light, this being a 6-cylinder car, you can tell by the marker light because any V8, be it 307, 327, 350, 396, whatever else was available in the Chevelle, it would have told you what the engine was right here on a little plate that was part of the marker light. So, if there's no engine designation, good chance the car was originally a 6-cylinder. Like this one. So we've got no power brakes. I'm assuming it's drums all the way around. It kind of looks like it. No power steering. Here it is, steering's right here. No power, nothing. The only thing we have is alternator. So the only thing belt driven on this is the alternator. That's kind of nice. One belt, one problem, I guess. One barrel Rochester carburetor, I think. Yeah, that's Rochester. Okay. And like I said in the beginning, this thing does actually run. I'll show you. It actually runs pretty well for what it is, being a at least 100,000 mile, possibly 200,000 mile 6-cylinder engine. But it does have some problems. Problem number one, it's missing 2 cylinders. Problem number two is it's the wrong shape. This needs to be a V with like 4 cylinders here, 4 cylinders over there. So I do have a way to fix that. I showed you that in the beginning of the video. Same day I picked up the Chevelle, I picked up this free to me 1980 Chevy 305. Yes, it's a 305. No, I don't care. It does have some performance mods done to it. It has an Edelbrock single plane intake, so it's terrible for street use. It has an Edelbrock carburetor, and it is a model 1407, which I looked it up, is 750 CFM, which is way too big for any Chevy 305, but is what it is. It's free. If it works, it's going to work. Now, the cylinder heads on this are, if you can read that, stand in 416. 416 is a 305 high output cylinder head, which means it's slightly larger-ish valves. I think 184 intake, 150 exhaust, or 160 exhaust. I can't remember. And smaller chambers to get compression out, which is nice because otherwise this is going to be like 7.5 or 8 to 1 dog. This is probably more like 8.5, maybe 9 to 1. I'll take that. Those are not original to this block. The block comes back to mid-80s, nothing special, F or G body. So somebody's put those heads on. And if somebody did performance heads and a performance intake and a way too big for its britches carburetor, I'm hoping they did a camshaft. So before I go throwing this engine into the car, we're going to take this water pump off, we're going to replace the timing chain, and we will see if we can get a number off that camshaft. Hopefully it's a performance camshaft. If not, maybe we'll throw a mild camshaft in it. Other than that, this is going to be the power plant for that Chevelle, not this one. I'm not anti-6-cylinder. I'll show you why I need to replace it. A little bit of a YouTube short about this, but this is why we need to replace it. This is completely milkshaked. There's a bad head gasket. Way over full, by the way, and also milkshaked. So this engine would need a lot of work just to get it into a generally usable condition and cost way more money than really technically right now I could put that in and it's fine. A zero cost 305. Let's get a look inside this thing. Ow, that handle's incredibly hot. Note to self, chrome handles, sunlight equals wear gloves. Whew. This is a black interior car with some white accents. Even says Chevelle, I think, on the door. What does that say? Deluxe. It says deluxe. Of course it is. I'm gonna roll that window down so we don't die. This is one of the last years for wing windows. Not only are these wing windows, but GM did one of my favorite things. It's a crank. It's not just the flip the lever and push the window out type like you get in trucks. That's one of my favorite features of this car. Other than that, we have a factory bench seat. That is not factory upholstery. That's a comforter because, well, there's not really any upholstery left right now. We're going to have to replace that seat. Yeah. Springy, though. Also, no build sheet. The previous owner did replace the floor pans, and I mean, they did complete floor pans, both sides. They didn't do a perfect job, but they did a pretty good job. Better than I would have done. Yeah. I mean, they did spot welds and everything. I like it. It's pretty good work. The only thing I'll probably do is clean all this up and maybe seam seal and then hit that with some rust converter. Doesn't look like that got done yet. I don't think that's an original fuse panel. I think this has been done. That's an upgrade I didn't even know about till just now. Awesome. Brand new fuse block and wiring. We'll take that. That's a win. It does have an aftermarket radio, but not the original. Although this did originally have a radio because, as you can see, hopefully, in the glass, you can see the antenna. Let's get a better look out here. There's a couple of lines in here. Hopefully you can see right there by the wiper blade. They go all the way up and across the top of this windshield. And that is the radio antenna on GM cars in the 60s and 70s. I don't know if that continued into the 80s, but that's how they did it. So this antenna over here, somebody drilled a hole in the fender. That's aftermarket. That's not original. So if I replace that fender, I can get rid of that antenna. Unless, of course, this windshield antenna is broken, in which case I'll drill another hole and put that antenna in. The back seat is more of the same. You can see the back of the front seat, or the front of the back seat, your choice. But the floor's been done back here as well. I don't know why there's no floor plugs in this. I'm thinking maybe the window seals leak and they didn't want water accumulating, so they didn't put floor plugs back in. You can buy those, that's okay. This back seat upholstery is only mildly better than the front. This is actually the original seat back. As you can see, it was a pretty cool design. Vinyl, a little bit of a pattern to it, and stripes down the middle. The headliner, while partially in place, is going to need replaced. Oh, look. Ashtrays in every door. It was the 60s. Everybody smoked. I've already seen what's under the power barn, or powerless barn. Let's check and see what's in the trunk. Well, we've got spare tire, which looks to be newer. That's a radial, so that's definitely not the original spare. That's okay. That's the original rim. And we've got a second set of hubcaps. These are center cap dog dish style, and this is what's on it right now. I'm trying to decide which one I like better. Let me know in the comments which one you think I should run until I replace the wheels and tires. The full-size hubcaps or the center caps. And here we've got some nicely labeled door sills. 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got all 4 of those. And whoever had this before me, labeled where all the screws came from. Note to self, be organized like this guy this time. It's factory jack, an extra funnel. Now I don't have to make any. Woo! And is that? It is. This is the world's finest ice scraper. Look at that. Both kinds, country and western. Bumper jack, horrible idea, but is what it is. It's there. There's a little bit of subsidence in the trunk here, driver's side and passenger side. Nothing that can't be patched. Everything else looks pretty good in here. Here in the corners, we've got some license plate rust repair. I can't tell what state that is. Ah, well. But as you can see, the quarters need a little bit of work, as do the rear wheel wells. It looks like they were going to try to make their own patch panels, but I'm going to actually buy partial quarters and put them in. I don't think it's worth trying to mess with anything else. Plus, I've never done that before, so maybe I can do that, maybe I can't. We'll find out. This appears to be the original paint, which is a silver color. Somebody has painted it a metallic blue at some point in its life. Let me close the trunk and I'll show you. There we go. I got a little bit of the dirt off of this car, and it is definitely a sparkly metallic blue. I don't think that was original paint color. I'm going to have to look up the body tag on this, like I said, and try to figure that out. Gas tank, possibly been replaced. Definitely not rusty, so that's good. We got that going for us, which is nice. Similar story, yet not as bad on this side with the rear wheel well. I'll still buy another partial quarter and we'll somehow patch that in and see if we can make that work. It runs and drives. We'll worry about fixing that after we get it more running-y and driving-y. Passenger side door panel, about the same shape as the driver's side. I have not looked in the glove box yet. Oh, that's about to fall off. Okay, that appears to need the locking clip in it. That's not right. Somebody's done some sort of strange painting designs here. I don't know, but the glove box itself is actually in good shape. Completely empty though. Stay. Another great feature of 1960s cars. Hopefully it works. Yep, you can see it. It's moving. Air doors. Fantastic. This is one of the 2 things I would bring back on modern cars. This and wing windows. Those both need to make a comeback. The rest of the body's in really solid shape except for those rear wheel wells and this dent right up here on the front. This is a full frame car, so I don't really have to worry about body rot as much as you do on a unitized or unibody car. Yeah, it's a concern. The trunk pan does need patched. Everything else is good, but it's a solid frame car, so it's less important, I guess you could say, than on a unibody or unitized construction. Okay, well, everybody, that is the brand new project. We still have the Corvair ramp side. I'm almost done with it, and it's going to have to go up for sale probably in the next month and a half. Travis, don't eat grass. Like I was saying, it's going to have to go up for sale soon because I'm a tiny channel, and my projects support themselves. So if I get one and I find another, something's got to go. Since I just got that, the smart choice would be to sell that. Right, Travis? That's right. Come here. It's a good boy. You're a good boy. You know that you're a good boy, Mr. Travis. All right. Don't eat grass. Thank you. Whew. So, there it is. The world's cheapest running and driving 1968 Chevelle 300 Deluxe sedan. Sure. But This still says Chevelle. This doesn't say sedan. It is a Chevelle. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for today. I just wanted to get you a quick rundown on the new project and the basics of we've got to take out that 6-cylinder because it's got a bad head gasket. And I got a free 305, so we're just going to throw that in its place. If you have any other ideas, questions, comments, concerns about this one, let me know in the comments. Chevelle. All right, well, we'll see you next time.